As we said, this is coming from comicbook.com. Luckily, a friend of the channel, Kenny Sparks, sent me this article that had the more detail. And of course, comicbook.com would have more details about this. And I have a lot to say about this because there's a whole bunch of mixture of responses to this casting inside of the interwebs right now. But let's get to the brass tacks. Let's get to the reality of it. Marvel's Fantastic Four reboot as Julia Garner as Silver Surfer. Marvel's Fantastic Four reboot has just added another major player. Speaking of that, the cast is stacked for this film. If we get a Doctor Doom casting and it's really, really great, this is going to be one of the best casts for an MCU film in a long time. All the actors that they added are either up and coming or established actors that are really, really great. And Julia Garner is another one. So on Wednesday, reports confirmed that Julia Garner has joined the cast of Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four as Shala Bal, incarnation of Silver Surfer. That is key here with all the people who are getting outraged by stuff. This is a version of the character that is in the comics. Shala Bal, who usually plays regular Silver Surfer, the one that we all know and love, his love interest. But she does become a Silver Surfer, a herald of Galactus as well. Gardner has won 3 Emmy Awards for her work as Ruth Langmore on Ozark. That's where I know her from. She's phenomenal in that show. And I'm going to bring up, after I read through this, I'm going to bring up why I think she's going to be able to play a character like this, as well as a Golden Globe for her portrayal as Anna Delvey in Inventor Anna. Gardner will join a Fantastic Four class that already includes Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Ebon Moss-Bachrach. I don't know if I said his name correctly. Joseph Quinn as Human Torch, obviously. Who is Shala Bal? Because even for me, I only know certain things about the character. I'm not super familiar with who she is. But comicbook.com, created by Stan Lee and John Buscema in 1968, Silver Surfer #1. Shala Bal is initially established as the Empress of the planet Zenla, as well as the love interest of Norrin Radd, not the original, but the main Silver Surfer that everyone knows and loves. When Norrin was banished to Earth by Galactus, Shauna became a pawn in the conspiracy against him, briefly being brainwashed by Mephisto into believing she's a human woman from Latveria, which is very interesting because Latveria is where Dr. Doom is from. So you can kind of see if they wanted to, because I'm hearing Mephisto is going to be introduced soon, maybe in Ironheart. I can see them kind of using some of this as basis for a character to create a very complicated character. Simultaneously, Galactus began to destroy the planet of Zenla, and Norrin gave Shala part of the power cosmic by the end of the story so she could help restore it to its former glory. Shala Bal then continued to operate as a cosmic ruler in the Marvel Universe, occasionally reconnecting with or being saved by Norrin. She did become Silver Surfer in 2000 alternate universe storyline Earth X, when she and Norrin were both given the power cosmic and dubbed the twin heralds of New Galactus, Franklin Richards. Fortunately, Shala Bal was quickly killed in the span of the same issue. What is the new Fantastic Four movie about? Plot details have not been revealed, but Marvel's Fantastic Four, the film, will be directed by WandaVision's Matt Shakman, who has teased that the way the Fantastic Four script approaches his plot and the influence of Marvel's comic source material appeal to him. It's different in so many ways. I wish I could be specific. I wish I could say more, but we are doing things very differently from a story standpoint, from an approach to filmmaking standpoint that really fits the material. I wish I could say more, but I would love to, but I can't. I think it's going to be like anything you've seen before, and currently unlike anything at Marvel that you've seen before, which is very, very interesting. We have been nonstop working on this film despite the strikes. Yes, we've been working with the effects, with production design, building our world, and that's been incredibly exciting. You know how to translate those skills into live action in dynamic ways. So yeah, obviously they're very coy on a lot of the things that's going on in Fantastic Four, but he's promising something very different. And with this giant cast that they've garnered, Julia Garner, I think that they can do a really, really great job creating something that we haven't seen before. I'm really hoping that the Fantastic Four feel like a new stepping stone into a new set of filmmaking for the MCU. So why I think that Julia Garner will be an amazing pick for this. If you've seen her work in Ozark, if you've seen her work as Anna Delvey in Inventing Anna Delvey, you know that she is such a great actress. She makes you like people who are not good people. Ruth Matt Langmore is not a good person in Ozark. She has some good tendencies, but overall, when you watch that show, she's not a great person. But you love her. At least I did, and I think fans of Ozark love her. She was a fan favorite in that show, and I think even with Anna Delvey, she was not a good person in that show at all, but she did a great job grounding that character in a way and creating different aspects of that character that was funny, that made you like the betrayal. And I think that this character, this Shala Ball character, because of all the things that they mentioned inside this story and her and what is based off of, if she does become this character that toes a line, she's an empress that wants to protect her planet, but also it's conspirator working with maybe Doctor Doom, maybe working with Mephisto, turning her back on Norrin, and these are storylines that they spans out of Fantastic Four and moving forward. I feel like she can make this character kind of like a Loki. I think she has that Tom Hiddleston effect, where Tom Hiddleston's playing a character that's not likable, but he's so likable in the role that we end up loving him and he becomes a hero. And I can see that happening with this character. While the regular Silver Surfer that we know and love, Norrin, is one of those great people. And like Kenny Sparks said in the live stream, thank you for saying it's a great analysis. She makes you like the worst people. And the way this character is being written, she might not be the worst person, but she seems like she's going to be with one of those characters that has parts of her that's not likable. Kind of like a Tony Stark. Tons of things that he did that wasn't likable, but Robert Downey Jr. made the character likable. Once again, I said Tom Hiddleston making Loki likable and things like that. And I think she's going to do a great job. I've seen people say, oh, she's too skinny. I think that rhetoric or thought just needs to end. These actors buff up for these roles. And when you're a Silver Surfer character, you're not supposed to be huge. Like if you look at Silver Surfer on the page, you look at Silver Surfer, even live action or even animated, he's not a giant buff dude. He's more of an athletic person. And even her version is more athletic. So the people who are casted in these roles doesn't need to be these athletic buff people. And another thing I want to say, other than her making the worst people likable and make you get engrossed to this story, she's really good at comedy. The comedy that she had to do inside of Ozark was so great, and I think she will bounce off other people really well. And being able to do the comedy well in the MCU is very, very important because that's a big part of it. And in Anna Delvey, she was so funny as that character, and I can really see her doing a great job. So I'm really, really excited for this. I think that she's a great pick for this. I know a lot of people are not super familiar with everything she has done, but based on the things that I've seen her in, she's going to do a bang up job. I just wonder what they're going to do with Norrin. Is he also going to be part of the story? Is he going to be mentioned? Maybe they casted her first, but maybe they already casted Norrin as well, and that hasn't been announced or leaked yet. That's also a thing. There is things saying Javier Bardem may be cast as Galactus. We never know. So drop it down your comments down below and let me know how you feel about this casting based on the information I said. Now, were you confused? Are you still not unsure? Drop all those comments below, let me know, and now let's talk about and join the live chat. Let's see what these guys are saying.